This is RC Evil Empire. We're here today with Team Trinity XRAY driver Paul Lemieux. Paul's from the U.S. I believe you're from Wisconsin. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So how long exactly have you been racing competitively for?
About 13 years.
Where did you first start when you started racing?
I started at a hobby shop in Milwaukee called Trackside Hobbies. Scotty Ernst, the guy who's running the race this weekend, he owns the track, and just kind of I stopped in there with my first car, and he started helping me out with it, and pretty much started racing right there.
What was your first car?
My first car was a Kyosho Sandmaster 10 gas buggy, which I didn't have very long. Scotty obviously talked me out of something I couldn't really work on because I was young, you know, and I think he got me into a Bowlink Legend, which was much better suited for me at the time.
How old were you at that time?
Probably about 13 years old.
Wow, so now you are in your late 20s?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Oh, wow. Many know that you're famous basically for your on-road, asphalt and carpet abilities. Which do you prefer and why?
I don't know. It's good to have both. It's kind of two different disciplines. I consider that Scotty's track is an indoor carpet. I get to race carpet a lot more and do a lot more testing and things. So I tend to be more well prepared when I go to a carpet race. So it's easier for me to race carpet, but I definitely like the challenges of asphalt because you're always learning stuff because I don't get to do it all the time. So I guess I actually like racing rubber tire stuff better, asphalt stuff more, even though it's more frustrating.
Yeah, so would you say you're a better carpet foam driver or a rubber asphalt driver? Which do you prefer, and which do you think is your strength?
Definitely my strength is probably foam tires on carpet, just because that's what we've done here in the U.S. for so long, and that was my local track. That's what we raced for a long time. So I would say, definitely my strength is foam tire carpet. I don't really like it to be that way, but I guess that's just how it is.
Yeah, so by convenience and, I guess basically you have a track locally, so that helps a lot.
Yep.
Do you ever race anything besides on-road? I mean, have you ever dabbled in other scales, and what do you think of that?
Yeah, I have. I race off-road once in a while. About 4 years ago, I started racing off-road pretty often when I lived in Phoenix, Arizona for a while, and SRS was my home track.
Yeah, Mayfield and
yeah, all those guys. And so I did that there for like 6 months, hit it pretty hard, and ran every day, and got pretty decent around that time. But then when I moved away, I stopped racing off-road again, and now I just do it really once a year, maybe twice a year, and
just for fun, more or less.
Yeah, and I've raced a little bit of A-scale off-road before too, and never had a whole lot of success, but never tried super hard either. But for the most part, definitely on-road's my strong point, and I don't see it being anything different anytime soon.
As far as like the international touring car racing scene, we've seen kind of a decline of U.S. drivers over the last few years. And many have said that you're probably the best U.S.-born driver, for touring car in the world right now. Do you ever feel like when you go to these big races and there's guys there from like Netherlands and Finland and Japan, do you ever feel it's kind of like you're representing the U.S. and it's kind of like you versus the rest of the world, so to speak? Or?
Not really. It's pretty friendly out there, honestly. All the guys are pretty nice. With running foam tire here so much, we kind of isolated ourselves, I guess, from the rest of the world, and that's why you don't see, like a lot of U.S. drivers winning big international races anymore. Because for a while there, when we did do rubber tire, we were pretty good. Barry in his day was real good and almost won a world championship, and so I guess it's not. Things are just a little bit different. But for the most part, no, not really. I mean, there's so many good people in the U.S., but a lot of times they just don't get to show it because we're up against so much competition when we wander outside.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different mindset probably when you show up in Hong Kong for a big race. You're kind of out of your environment or out of what you're used to more or less, right?
Yeah, definitely. And but again, everybody's really, really nice. All like Haro and Reinhard have this friendship that's kind of come around the rest of the racing, the two of them being such good friends and trying to not take things too seriously, and it's not at all, I don't feel that way at all when I travel outside.
As far as the competitive side of RC goes and like big races and stuff, I mean, where do you see it going in the next few years?
I don't know. I hope touring car comes back. I'm not sure that it will, honestly. I hope it I hope it starts growing again instead of declining as it is right now. But I could see 12 scale. I think 12 scale is growing right now, and it seems to be, coming back to being really important class again, like it was in the 90s. So I could see for on-road 12 scale kind of getting it through this hard time, and then I think something new will come along.
I think that's because of the new batteries that are coming out for 12 scale and the brushless, so you don't have to remove anything basically to go racing.
Yeah, that'll be nice. There's just too many changes going on right now, and everyone's sticking with what they know. And it's like you go nitro off-road racing, you throw 21 in, you throw some fuel in, and they know that that's going to be it. With electric, it's too many new batteries coming out, too many rule changes, things like that, where it's hurting us for now. And hopefully, if everybody makes the right decisions and decides to settle down, hopefully everything will come back around and it'll become very popular again.
Cool. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. Best of luck to you at the Reedy and all future races. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.